In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I went from 160 pounds and 16% body fat, insecure, skinny fat, ashamed of how I looked with my shirt off, to being 210 pounds, 3.3% body fat, super proud to take my shirt off, and rivaling my guy, DK Metcalf. You're not going to be guessing on whether or not you know what to do. I'm going to show you exactly how to get to your dream body and to gain the muscle that you want and look good with your shirt off. Hello, my name is Nolan Ullman. I'm an online fitness professional that has helped dozens of men get to their dream bodies, just like my guy Parker here. Here's another picture I have of myself back when I was 175 on a family vacation in Hawaii, to my complete transformation to being 210 and 114 pounds muscle mass, 3.3% body fat on the in body. A little more about me. My name is Nolan Ullman. A little more about me. I played D1 football here at Eastern Washington University, where I'm a captain and have received all sorts of awards, like being all conference, being the 6th highest prospect for the CFL draft, as well as receiving our Golden EKG award and the Pat Roberts Memorial Award, which is given to the individual that most embodies the program's values and does the right thing on and off the field. I've been able to learn from some incredible coaches like TJ Conley, who played in the NFL and is our head athletic director here at Eastern Washington University, has an extensive amount of skills in nutrition, exercise, mindset. I also learned directly from Ben Newman and was certified last year, as well as learning directly from Tony Robbins and Chloe Madonna's, making me a strategic interventionist and human needs psychologist. All that being said, you guys want to see how I made this transformation from being, somebody that nobody believed in. I was this kid in a small town in Canada, insecure, skinny fat, really not comfortable taking my shirt off. I didn't want to take my shirt off. I was so skinny and just had no muscle, was not happy. So I'll take you back to this time. So at that time, I really just had no idea what I was doing, and maybe you can relate. I didn't have motivation. I didn't have the ability to, get myself out of bed and go attack a goal. I really didn't have many goals. I didn't know how to eat. I didn't know what to eat. I didn't know what food was good or bad. Had no idea what to do in the gym. And I also just had a ton of vices and horrible habits to make myself feel good, and didn't have ways to give myself that fulfillment that I wanted through vehicles that were ultimately going to lead to the things that I wanted most in life. Most of all, I made excuses. I was addicted to distraction. I was on Snapchat all the time, just doing stupid stuff, never committed to anything. And I really had zero respect for myself looking back, because I never took care of myself. And you can see this is right when the journey started. I got my meal prep in my grocery bag, got my water bottle here. This is a long time ago. And I remember it was very uncommon what I wanted to do. A lot of other people were in this same spot that I was in, right? They were really, really confused. And I just started to get this feeling that I wanted more. I was tired of looking the way I did. And for me, the easiest thing to do was going to be to transform the physical. I'd seen a ton of pictures of other athletes that had done the same at the time I was playing football, not really at a high level, just kind of doing it. And then I really had a goal to not only be a really good football player, but absolutely transform my physique. So what the first stage was, this was really about a year and a half where I just started working out twice a day. I'd wake up, I'd go lift compound movements in my basement. So I'd do bench, deadlift, or squat, depending on the day. And then I'd do some sort of calisthenic movement, like a pull-up, like a dip for upper body as well. And then what I would do is I'd go to a CrossFit gym later that night and do another workout that night. Now that was a lot. And I worked really hard. I started eating a ton of food, and I actually got some pretty decent results. What I actually ended up doing was getting on a call with a nutritionist who gave me a base meal plan, and I had a coach whenever I go to the CrossFit gym, and then I had a Facebook group as well that I created with one of my CrossFit coaches and my dad at the time. And my dad was in there, that coach was in there, and I'd send them videos of me doing these exercises. They gave me a program to do. So I had a program. It wasn't really catered to me though. And then I had just this base, plan from this nutritionist. I still didn't really know what any of it meant. So I'd use that information, and this is really the learning stage. This was about 2.5 years. So a year and a half later, I really started to feel way better about myself. You can see the muscles starting to come in a little bit. 6-pack was looking dialed. Still, you can see I'm blocking it here, but I got a little body fat, and this was really good. But I pushed so hard, and I didn't understand how macros worked, and I got injured through training, overtraining, and didn't understand how to hit the right body parts and really how to correctly do progressive overload. So this is what happened. I crashed back down, and you can see I still look decent, but I gained a little bit of weight, and not the good weight, a little bit of body fat, and I lost a lot of that tone that I had. A lot of that, lost that losing the body fat that I had. So anyways, pros though, right? I was eating way better. I was following a plan that I had. I was hardworking. I was seeing success. And it wasn't perfect. I would fall off quite a bit with my discipline. I would say I was going to do something, then I wouldn't do it. Slowly but surely, a rhythm of it, though, continued to form in my life. And I started having non-negotiables. I was not going to miss my workouts. And so I really established a work ethic here. And I got injured again, and then I was like, you know what? We're going to do the exact same thing here, and we're going to gain some more weight. We're going to gain some more muscle. And these next 4 months were incredible. I got a little bit more advice on what to do. I got a different coach that was now programming for me. So instead of doing CrossFit, after I still was doing my morning training session, still overtraining, I would go after and I'd go to just a normal, global gym. And I'd go in there and do compound lifts, all sorts of programming. It was 2.5 hours of working out. Now, my goal was to go play Division I football. Your goal is probably not that. So don't worry about working out for 2.5 hours. Really, you only need 45 minutes to an hour if you want to look incredible. Sports athletes, we have to work way harder because there's skills and you have to be fast. There's so many other variables to not, like, just looking good is not enough. So that is April 2019. As you can see, though, still a ton of fat in my legs. So some people, this might seem like an incredible physique. You can see here, there's still just a little bit. And this was a really huge. I remember hitting this, and just at this point, my identity totally transformed. So we're talking 2 years later of having a really good plan and just working my tail off. And I transformed the way I look, got a ton of respect. Still wasn't fully where I wanted to be. And the reality was, the cons, I had horrible digestion. I was getting injured all the time. I didn't have a true nutrition coach. Like I said, I had someone that was really dialing me in with the workouts, and that's what kept me going, but I didn't have a true nutrition coach. And I was stuck in this yo-yo. And you're going to see, I'm going to talk about this fourth phase that happened, but really good, injured, bad digestion, crash. Really good, crash, right? And I had a weird relationship with food. I still was really tough to not eat the cookies, really wanted to, I was having Oreos. We'd go on our family vacation. All these are normal things, and you can work these in. You can have cheat meals for sure. I just didn't view food like fuel, though, and it was unhealthy because I was using food as a vehicle to meet my needs, and it isn't that. You can meet your needs in other ways. And most importantly, I was guessing. So aside from the programs after the work, I didn't know if I was doing enough. I didn't know if my program was enough. And so then I crashed again. We did a really good peak here, and then I crashed again. I got hurt again, overtrained again, and this was a low. As you can see here, still have pretty good muscle mass, but I was really out of sync here. Look at just the way my hips are. I was all contorted up and not at what I was there. So I lost a little bit of it again. Now my goals are really high. Then this is where it really, really took off. So this is when I met Coach TJ, and he gave me a ton of guidance on nutrition, a bunch of other people. Coach Nate Berry, who's got an incredible program out in Arizona now. Coach Mike Perez, who's our head strength coach here. A ton of different people. I got a ton of courses and went to Athletic Truth Group, learned from Ben Patrick, was able to communicate with Ben Patrick. And I had an incredible couple of years of just grinding, having proper macros, knowing how much protein to eat, specifically tracking my food. I really tracked my foods and my micronutrients. And that's when, boom, I hit my dream body, 210 pounds. I had this picture of DK on my table, my desk, in my room for however many years before. It was like 4 years. Started right around here, 4 years before. And then I'd hit it. 210, got on the in-body. It was 210, 3.3% body fat. And at this point, I had become a pro's pro. I invested in myself. I had a mentor. I had coaches. I asked for help. I knew how macros actually worked. I follow a very high level plan. And this all led to stable and consistent results. This is this is 2.5 years later, and I'm able to keep this going. I'm able to know when to get to what weight. I don't get hurt because of overtraining anymore, and I understand how the nervous system works. I have a really good relationship with food. It's just fuel, and most importantly, I'm a leader. I wake up at the same time every day. I go to bed at the same time every day. I've become who I've wanted to become. Now, are there still a lot of things that I want to work on? Yes, there are a ton of things I want to work on. I can maintain this year round. This was literally yesterday. I took this yesterday after our sauna. So you can see here, there's nothing on my body. I feel great. I have great energy. Have my dream relationship, and I was able to get that and have that because of who I became in the process. Extremely confident, great relationship with food. So what changed? Told you guys a story. What changed? It's all of these things. I started to learn how the macros worked. I learned how to not overtrain. And eventually I was able to get this dream body and understand how to keep it going. And that there are cycles to this. How do we use the macros? How do we, make sure that we're doing the right thing? So here's the macros as a base. I'm going to go over this in a different video. But the most important thing is understanding protein has a very high thermic effect. So if you have protein, the more muscle mass you have, the longer they show that you're going to live. So muscle mass, getting that up is super important. Now, protein is the amino acids, and this is really what forms the building blocks of our body. Carbs are our quick energy, and so you need to really properly structure those around your workouts. So structure them around your workouts. We don't want to have them in excess. We want to have them in the correct doses around those workouts to provide the fuel for those workouts. And fats are your long-term store energies. So with those, you really want to have those away from workouts. Want to start your day with some fats, especially if you're not having a workout, that's a good time to get them in. And they're super important for hormones. So I see a lot of people, you want to know how I did this? It wasn't keto. This was not keto. It wasn't carnivore. It wasn't any one of these fad diets. It was understanding just how macros worked and realizing that you can get your macros in a bunch of different ways. This worked because of whole foods. I understood how to read a nutrition label. I cut out any inflammation-causing foods. A lot of those foods with palm oil, sunflower oil, all that garbage in them, it creates so much stress in your body, and then look what happens. You start crashing. You've been there. I know you've been there before. You crash down to not where you want to be. Now, I'm going to say this at the end of the day. The most important thing is mindset. Because here, I was never consistent, and I was like, if I crashed, there was nothing to crash to. Because I know some of you maybe are looking at this and are like, dang, that still looks pretty good. For me, it wasn't good enough. And so I want you to raise your identity and first of all, form the conviction in your mind, connect to your burn, which often lies on the other side of your deepest pain in your life. And I want you to connect to that in order to take the action and make the hard choices to create an easy life. Because if you do the hard thing now, you will have an easy life. If you do the easy thing now, you're going to have a very, very hard life and you're never going to be fulfilled. You're never going to be able to look at this and be like, dang, I accomplished this. I don't worry about this anymore. Right now, I'm looking to be around 198, 200. That's kind of what I'm sitting at right here. Well, really right now, 200, 202. Now I'm looking to get a little bit leaner just for football. Once football is over, oh my goodness, I'm going to 215. However, I need to be fast and need to be a good receiver. So I want to show you guys, okay, maybe you want to do an Ironman. Maybe you want to, whatever. You know how to get to these numbers yourself. You know how macros work. It's super, super simple. So that's what all this is. Like I said, I've gotten a ton of people, dozens of men, great results. I also work with women as well. I've got a couple in the program right now. So if you are interested in getting to your dream body and want to see if possibly I could help, there's going to be a link down in my bio to go book in a call in Calendly. And then you also can just go to my Instagram, go check out. I post a ton of content there. Message me on Instagram. If you want to talk more, I'll give you a ton of free value. Got a bunch of free ebooks and stuff. So just want to see you get to your dream body. And ultimately what this is all about is this transformation from here to here. My family tree is now never the same. My family tree will never be the same in a great way. And so your fitness will impact your family tree. And that's what you have to realize. Not only are there literally epigenetics that show that the more that you work hard, you will actually affect the genetics of your offspring, of your children, Also, you get to change the habits, the culture of your family through your daily actions and disciplines. And I believe that the physical is a direct correlation to that. Every single day, your body is your business card, and people see how much you respect yourself by how you look. Don't limit yourself. You can get to this, because if I can from here, trust me, you can as well. Okay, so I hope you guys got a ton of value. With that being said, you know how it goes on this channel. We make it happen. That's it. Like, subscribe, and let me know if you want some help. Check the description down there. Make it happen.